Samantha adjusted her scarf nervously as she pushed open the door of the small, warmly lit coffee shop. The scent of cinnamon, roasted coffee beans, and fresh pine greeted her, promising the comfort of the season, but her stomach churned with nerves. She had agreed to this blind Christmas date out of a mix of hope and curiosity, dreaming of a little holiday magic. She spotted David immediately, standing awkwardly near the counter, fumbling with his coat. He smiled, and she returned a polite grin, trying to quell her rising anxiety. The conversation started with the usual pleasantries, but it quickly became painfully clear that David was more interested in talking about himself than listening. He recounted stories about his office politics, his ambitious plans, and his fascinating tech gadgets. Samantha nodded, smiled, and occasionally interjected, but her words barely registered. She glanced around the shop, noticing the twinkling fairy lights hanging from the windows and a small tree in the corner, adorned with handmade ornaments. Couples laughed over steaming mugs, and a soft carol played in the background. She had imagined a cozy, intimate Christmas connection, but instead, she felt isolated at the very table she had hoped would bring warmth. When the check arrived, David, oblivious to the discomfort he had caused, suggested another date next week. Samantha's stomach sank. She smiled politely, thanked him, and shook her head. "I don't think that would be a good idea," she said, her voice calm but firm. David shrugged, trying to hide his disappointment, and she excused herself, stepping out into the cold night. The snow crunched under her boots as she walked away, the streetlights casting a soft golden glow on the wet pavement. Samantha felt a twinge of sadness, not for the failed date, but for the hope she had naively placed in it. She wrapped her coat tighter, telling herself that maybe the universe had other plans for her this Christmas. Samantha stepped out of the coffee shop and into the quiet night, the icy air biting at her cheeks. Snowflakes drifted lazily from the sky, melting on her coat and hair, each flake sparkling briefly in the soft glow of streetlights. The city seemed hushed, as if holding its breath for Christmas morning, and the twinkle of decorations reflected off the wet pavement, painting everything in gentle golds and reds. Her heart still ached from the awkward date. She felt the familiar sting of loneliness, a sharp contrast to the laughter and warmth she had just left behind. Wrapping her scarf tighter, she began walking aimlessly, letting the crunch of snow beneath her boots echo in the empty streets. As she passed a small park, she noticed movement near a swing set. Two little girls, bundled in puffy pink coats and knitted hats, were trying to make snow angels. Their cheeks were flushed with cold, and their laughter rang out, pure and bright. They spotted Samantha and waved energetically, causing her heart to lift a little despite her melancholy. "Hi, are you lost?" asked the younger one, her big brown eyes filled with curiosity. Samantha bent down, smiling softly, touched by their innocence. "No, just taking a walk," she replied, brushing snow off her gloves. The girls' chatter continued as they described their Christmas plans, decorating cookies, hanging stockings, and leaving cookies out for Santa. Their excitement was contagious. Samantha found herself laughing, swept up in their joy. For the first time that evening, the sting of rejection faded. The cold night no longer felt empty but alive with possibility. One of the girls tugged on her mitten. "Do you like Christmas?" she asked eagerly. Samantha nodded, feeling a warmth she hadn't realized she was craving. "I love it," she said softly, watching the snow glint in her hair and the girl's eyes sparkle in the lamplight. In that moment, Samantha felt a tiny flicker of hope, a sense that maybe this lonely Christmas night could turn into something magical after all. The twins tugged gently at Samantha's hands, their mittened fingers cold but determined. Their small faces were illuminated by the golden glow of the street lamp, framed by rosy cheeks and sparkling eyes. "Our mom is busy tonight," one said, her voice soft but tinged with worry. Will you be our mom for Christmas?" Samantha froze, the question hanging in the air like a delicate ornament. Her heart skipped a beat, and for a moment, all the awkwardness of her failed date vanished. She blinked, unsure what to say. The sincerity in their eyes, the trust they offered so freely, was overwhelming. I don't know," she whispered, her voice trembling slightly. A nervous laugh escaped her, betraying both disbelief and uncertainty. She looked down at them, the little girl standing so small yet so brave before her, and her chest tightened with an unfamiliar warmth. "Please," they chorused together, their voices earnest, eyes wide and unwavering. The innocence in their plea struck a chord deep within her. Samantha knelt, letting herself meet them at eye level. "You want me to be your mom?" she asked softly, testing the reality of the moment. The girls nodded furiously, their excitement bubbling over. "Yes, please," one exclaimed, hugging her tightly, her tiny arms wrapping around Samantha's waist. The other squeezed her hand, beaming. Samantha's heart swelled, and she felt tears prick her eyes. She had entered the night alone, rejected and uncertain, and yet here she was, holding the possibility of a family she had never imagined. A wave of love and protectiveness washed over her. She realized that this wasn't just a fleeting moment of holiday whimsy, it was a chance to belong, to care for these little lives, to be part of something bigger than herself. Slowly, she smiled, the first real smile of the evening. "All right," she said, voice steady now with warmth. "I'll be your mom, for Christmas, and we'll see where it goes from there." The girls squealed with joy, hugging her again, their laughter echoing through the snowy park. In that instant, Samantha felt a shift in her world. A lonely night transformed into the beginning of an unexpected, beautiful new chapter. By the time Samantha and the twins returned to their apartment building, the snow had settled into a soft, glittering blanket, transforming the city into a winter wonderland. The streetlights cast a gentle glow, and the quiet hum of Christmas decorations from nearby windows made the night feel peaceful and magical. Inside, the apartment smelled of cinnamon and pine. The girls immediately ran to the small kitchen, eager to start their Christmas traditions. Together, they baked cookies, their tiny hands clumsily shaping dough into stars and hearts while Samantha laughed, wiping flour from her own cheeks. The sound of jingling bells from the radio added a cheerful rhythm to their activity. Afterward, they gathered around the little Christmas tree, placing ornaments carefully on the branches. The girls took turns hanging their favorite decorations, chattering excitedly about Santa and the presents they hoped to find. Samantha watched them, her heart swelling with a mix of joy, love, and awe. For the first time that season, she felt truly at home, not because of decorations or festive treats, but because of the connection she had found with these two little souls. As the night grew late, the girls snuggled close to her on the couch, their heads resting against her shoulders. "We're so glad you're our mom tonight," one whispered, eyes heavy with sleep. Samantha felt tears prick her eyes, but this time they were tears of happiness. She kissed their foreheads gently, holding them close. For the first time, she didn't feel the sting of rejection or the awkward tension of a failed blind date. Instead, she felt warmth, purpose, and belonging. She realized that love sometimes arrives in the most unexpected ways, and that what seems like an ending can often be a beautiful beginning. That Christmas, Samantha learned that family isn't always about blood. It's about connection, trust, and love. The twins had opened their hearts to her, and in return, she had found hers transformed. The soft glow of the tree reflected in their smiling faces, and Samantha knew, in that quiet, magical moment, that she had discovered something far greater than she had ever hoped for. A home, a family, and the first flicker of a lifetime of love.